Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, kick-ass reverent gaming podcast from Affable Idiots. I'm one of your hosts. I don't remember sleeping with that lady, Adam Gumbert. And today we have with us Chad. Give yourself a middle name.
My black son.
My black son. My black son. Guys, Family Guy was really good for like 15 years, and then I just stopped watching. But it was really, really good.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw a new episode of Family Guy. Not because it didn't exist, but just because I never sought it out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that show is just consistently funny in the stupidest way.
Oh, yeah. They're like, hey, what's an 80s sitcom theme song? Let's do all of them, and what's the twist on it? He has a black son. And I'm like, yeah, they would absolutely make that show in the 80s. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/Affable Idiots, Sunday evenings at 8:30, YouTube and podcast services, Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Hey, Chad, what do you got there?
Oh, I've got, Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Baja Blast, brought to you by Taco Bell and the PepsiCo, and it's about to go in my mouth.
Uh-huh. I'm opening. Hopefully you could hear that on the microphone. I got the last flavor of Mountain Dew Baja Summertime. This is gold, a.k.a. pineapple.
Pineapple.
We're going to see what it tastes like.
Very good. This Baja Blast tastes like... Hold on, one more time.
I don't know what blue Baja Blast tastes like, is the thing.
Tastes like dreams.
Yeah.
And sugar. Even though it's zero sugar, it's amazing.
This taste, exactly, you can smell it. The minute you open it, like, oh yeah, that's just like pineapple syrup. That's good.
I can tell you, my favorite soda I think that I've had in a long time is Pineapple Fanta. And so I can tell you, that Pineapple Baja Blast that you have in your hand right now is making me real randy.
It's fire. It's real good.
And I just ate a pineapple gummy bear. Today's brought to you by
really?
Lily's Gummy Bears, sweet, fruity friends, less than 1 gram of sugar.
Oh, very nice. I have two things to ask you before we get into the... Well, coming on today's show, we got some news from FromSoftware. I hate doing that. New game announcements. We got dates. We got new games being announced and rumored, all that good stuff. PlayStation and Xbox both have news. But first, I want to ask you two questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you may be asking, this is only for Chad, not for the listeners.
Okay.
Again, we have a doc. We go through the doc. We talk about it. We do the show. Do you see what I've wrote above, upcoming, and below the all the plugs for the times?
Ask about Goodfellas and Campestra?
Yes. So I have no idea why this came up. Oh, because I texted you. You're like, I'll be on in a second. I said, that's all good, fella. Acting like I was Irish or something, right? But Goodfellas is one of our local pizza places that I think is the best local pizza place. So what's your best local pizza place?
Adam. Growing up, there was an Italian restaurant called Domenico's.
Okay.
And the owner of it, Dominic, my family, big fans of his. We'd go in. I'm sure they were sick of us, but we'd go in. We'd get these the best freaking pizza in the world. Loved it. That was our go-to pizza. Dominic stopped his own restaurant to go be a chef at a restaurant called Goodfellas.
Oh, okay.
Which then became our new go-to family restaurant. And it was like in this little tiny small town, kind of near our small town, where there was like a bell tower and there was like a little gazebo. So after we get done eating pizza and the adults would talk, all the kids would run across the street to the gazebo and play hide and seek or whatever the hell. But that was Goodfellas. And it was just like the best freaking pizza. Wow. And I have not had pizza like that in so long. So I'm going to say Goodfellas. And I'm wondering if your Goodfellas is an extension of that other Goodfellas.
I don't think, because we only have two. So it's weird. There's a spot that is downtown for all the drunk people. That's just like a little corner, a tiny little space. It's just like basically a hallway. But they opened up a brewery, which also has the pizza, but also serves beer. But that's the only one that's in town. I don't think there's anyone else around us. So it could be an extension, or it could just be like, we watched a movie about Italians, and we're going to name our pizza place after that. That could be the possibility. And then Campestre is the Mexican place that's real close to my house, which is very good, but it's not the best one. Technically, Hacienda's is the best one, but it costs more money by a lot. And you have to do it through DoorDash. So Is do you have a local? I'm assuming you have a lot of local taqueria places, right?
Yes. And the best one, by far, again, I'm going to go back to my childhood home in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. The best one is off of Interstate 51. Or, sorry, Highway 51. I don't really know the difference between all of them, all the different road types. But Highway 51, you had past Wogrove Mint Hill Road. You had all the way past Lawyers Road. And you eventually hit an intersection where on the left there's a Target, on the right there's a Walmart. And in the same parking lot as the Target is the best Taco Bell I've ever eaten at. And I tell you, the crunch wraps are so fresh. The middles are so crunchy, and the outsides are so warm and fluffy. And it's incredible. And it's consistently perfect.
Yeah.
No other Taco Bell has been that consistent. I might have had a crunch wrap that matches the quality of that crunch wrap somewhere else, but never as frequently and as often
as the consistency.
As that one.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Your favorite taqueria place is a specific Taco Bell. Okay, I'll give it to you. You live in California. You know, Mexico's literally right there. A lot of people doing their thing. But Taco Bell in North Carolina, huh?
Here's my controversial opinion. Mexican food is fine. Taco Bell is God tier. Like, if you give me the option of Taco Bell or traditional authentic Mexican food, Taco Bell every time.
Street tacos beg to differ with their cilantro and onions. But anyways, we've had that conversation. We'll move on. Taco Bell's good. I'll give it to you. Except for one down from my house, which literally always does my order wrong. But you know what doesn't do the order wrong? Maybe they do. Final Fantasy XVI.
Ooh.
We learned a lot about it. It's from Kat Bailey at IGN.com.
K-Bay from IGN.
K-Bay. Oh, I like that. How do you say this man's first name?
Naoki Yoshida.
Naoki Yoshida, I'll call him Yoshida from now on, who's producer on Final Fantasy XVI, confirmed that Final Fantasy XVI will have a form of party-based combat with AI characters, and he also discussed how Acons, Final Fantasy XVI's version of summons, will figure into the gameplay. There's a quote from him now. "We didn't want to overwhelm users in our newest trailer, so we focused solely on Clive's battles. That said, for most of his journey, Clive will be accompanied by one or more companions. These companions will participate in battle as well as trade banter with Clive. That said, the party members will be AI-driven, so to allow players to focus solely on controlling Clive." Kind of reminds me of, what was that, 15, right? Did the same thing, where you just have your buddies with you the whole time, and then...
Well, so 15, you had your buddies with you, but you could switch in and out. Which buddies were there? Actually,
you could be your buddies? Or do you know you did not? You never controlled your buddies, though, right? That's the
you
thing.
You did control your buddies, not like directly, but like with a command or a prompt
tell them
or
what to
something
do.
like that. Yeah.
On your cool cart trip
Versus
with
Final
Jonathan
Fantasy
Taylor
VII
Thomas.
Remake, where like you literally rotated between
Switched.
people. Yeah. Looks like this is going to be none of the above.
None of that, yeah. Final Fantasy XVI won't be following in the footsteps of its predecessor, won't be offering a true open world. Instead, it will divide up its regions into more contained areas while still taking inspiration from other AAA games, Yoshida said. Oh, excuse me. Remember, this is just another part of the story. Remember the pup from Final Fantasy XVI's very first trailer? Do you remember the dog?
No, I do not remember the dog.
I don't either. Yoshida revealed his name while teasing that he may have a much bigger role in the gameplay. Well, let's just say he's more wolf than dog, and his name is Torgal. As for him being a party member, you'll just have to wait and see. We'll have more info on parties soon.
He's so cute. I do see him. He's adorable.
He's like a little gray with white hands or whatever.
He's gray, and he's all smiley, and he's in front of a red flag, and he's adorable.
Yeah.
His name is what?
Torgal.
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 There's a tortoise Pokemon named Torkoal.
Torgal, again, very cute puppy. I've seen the picture. Awful name for a dog. If you named your dog Torgal, not great. But I guess if it's a wolf, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So that's an exclusive interview that IGN, I believe, had. Or, this has been making the rounds, more information. How does it excite you as the person who likes Final Fantasy? Because, I do not care.
Yeah. I am very happy that I have one character to focus on.
Yeah.
And just like doing stylish combos and upgrading that one. Well, you might still upgrade your companions with different things, but having one character to focus on really, it immerses you in a different way and also lets you like really hone in your skills. So that excites me. What also excites me is that I read in a tweet somewhere or something like that. The Final Fantasy 16, like the summon battles, like summon versus summon, or in this like Acon versus Acon, they're all going to be different. Like no summon battle will be the same. Like one of them will be like a 2D fighter. One of them will be like an open world type, like Dark Souls type thing. One of them will be like a WWE match. One of them they're all going to be different styles for every single one, and none of them will be the same. And that excites me.
That's pretty cool.
I also don't know how that features into Clive's gameplay because it's like a summon v summon. I don't know how Clive works into that, but very excited for that. Always a fan of dogs. There's a Twitter account or something that's like, can you pet the dog in the game? And then just for every single video game, they're like, can you pet the dog? So hopefully it's a yes from this one.
Not to jump ahead, but I was playing Life is Strange True Colors for Barf, and I found some paw prints on the ground. She's like, oh, I better be able to find this dog and pet it. I was like, yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can, but she just mentioned it.
I don't know if I found that dog.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, very cool. I got two questions for you. Isn't Clive the name of the side character that's in every single game?
Sid.
Am I wrong?
You're thinking of Sid.
Sid.
He's in most games, and he's usually like an engineer of some kind that you get the airship from, or that helps you repair your car.
Remember in 15, he's like a lady mechanic, right?
Sid. So there is a lady mechanic, but I believe that Sid is like her grandpa or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And her name is like Candy or something. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, cool.
Candy's
but I also
definitely a Donkey Kong character.
Candy Kong. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not super big Final Fantasy guy, but it does seem cool. I like the way that it looks and things they're doing. So maybe I'll get that one on a sale, but we'll find out next year in 2023 when the game comes out.
Her name is Cindy. And there is the master mechanic Sid in there as well. So yes, they are both characters, but your typical one that you end up going to is Cindy.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Clive Owen, however, is an actor.
Yeah. Wow. Nope, Owen Wilson.
That's Owen Wilson. Clive Owen Wilson is a great Halloween costume matchup.
I'm going to have to play that next year. But that's it for the main quest. There's basically this week was a lot of like little stories, like a lot of little stories. So, but I thought Final Fantasy 16 would be the biggest one, and we had a puppy in it. But that leads us into playtime. Oh, talking about playtime. Everyone talking about playtime. Chad, what did you play for playtime?
Oh, the first thing I played in playtime right now is Shame the Non-Believer, and that is me shaming DF and Smitty in the chat right now for saying pineapple is fucking disgusting.
Oof.
What? Talking about bad takes.
What are we talking about? Pineapple on pizza, I agree, just because I don't like the wet texture on a pizza, but I like the taste of pineapples.
Yeah, taste of pineapples is fucking top S tier fruit. It's amazing. Get out of here. Get out of here. God.
No, you can stay, but we will
stay in here. Create a second Twitch account on a different device and also stream this. So, thank you. Second game, I've played 2 games this week, more of the same, so nothing new from me, but Life is Strange True Colors because it's our barf game, which we are, again, probably going to have a special guest and record that this week, hopefully. So I finished that, beat that last night, and then more Destiny 2. Reset my Gambit rank for the second time this season because it was double rank this week. We did another raid.
Is that like prestiging in Call of Duty?
Kinda, yeah. You do that once for like to get a weapon, and another time to get the ornament for the weapon, and then that's part of a weekly challenge and all that good shit. We did a raid this weekend too in like super fast time. We like the very first try for almost every single encounter, and then the last one we did it like twice and got it. We're just so freaking good. So freaking good.
So good. You know what I love? Is that legitimately anytime I get on Discord, because there's this cool Discord feature where you can be like, hey, if I'm playing a video game, it tells everyone what I'm playing. It's Chad is always playing Destiny 2.
It's true.
Every time that I look anyways. I know that you play other things as well, but every time I'm happening to look at your name, Destiny 2 right next to it.
I forgot that PlayStation introduced that integration, so you're welcome.
Yeah, very cool. What is this other thing you played that I also played?
What? Oh, just those 2. Life is Strange, True Colors.
Oh, you already said Life is Strange. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, will you watch anything good though?
Yes, Bob's Burgers. I'm on season 4 now. I got
Very
past
good.
the musical. Got past. I mean, I reached and then kept going past the musical episode, where
Which one?
they all kind of have music in them a little bit, but the one with the Thomas Edison musical, like they all say autopsy at my autopsy.
Very good.
Yeah, excellent. So that's continuing to be a great source of joy for me. And then I'm very much not looking forward to, though we'll watch Westworld season 4, which premieres right after this podcast.
Not looking forward to it. You're going to watch the whole season.
Yes, I will.
Man, I need to, like we said before, I need to go back and watch 2, 3, and 4 because I only watched 1 because I didn't have HBO for a while. I also need to finish Game of Thrones because I'm in like episode 5 of season 1. I never got through that.
You never watched Game of Thrones?
I didn't have HBO at the time. No, I did not.
Dude. At the time, that's like 7-8 years.
Yeah, I didn't have HBO. I didn't have HBO regularly until I had HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
Like I borrowed a friend's HBO for about a year, and that was like season 6 or 7 of Game of Thrones. Whenever I borrowed that, but then it, my console updated and I lost that account. So yeah, I haven't actually had HBO for most of my life.
Interesting.
But now I do.
I'm
HBO Max.
I can tell you that Westworld season 3, the only thing that made me watch that season, because I did not like season 2, the only thing that made me watch season 3 was because Aaron Paul was in it from Breaking Bad, played Jesse Pinkman.
Yes.
And then I could not remember whether or not he lived at the end of season 3. Turns out, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I was about to, but then I was like, is this a spoiler? I honestly don't know because I didn't like season 3 enough to even remember how it ended. So,
Yeah.
who knows?
We'll see. But I also play Life
Oh my
is
God.
Strange.
Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, go
Dallas
ahead.
said 12 years. Game of Thrones took 12 years to do its 8 seasons. Wild. Sorry.
Or maybe it came out 12 years ago, is what he's saying. Like it initially released 12 years ago.
You talk. I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But I also played Life is Strange, doing that for Barf. We're going to finish that up pretty soon. Again, maybe have a guest on for that. I made a tweet earlier today that there's so I'm at the end of chapter 2, and there's so of course Alex, the character you play, has, again, I thought it was going to be stupid, but she has empathy powers. I'm like, there's no way that's going to be interesting, but I think they do some cool stuff with it. And I was doing the thing in the flower shop. Remember that in episode 2 where the old lady?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, wow, this is literally a top 5 fear of mine. And it's okay. So spoilers, no spoilers. Basically, she's like, oh, I'm going to do the emotion power for this lady who is at like early stages of dementia. And my number one fucking fear is getting dementia as an old person. I'm honestly like, if I start to get it, euthanize me. I don't even want to be alive for it.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I don't want to get old. If I start to get old, euthanize me.
When I hit 50, get rid of me. I'm done.
Yep.
But I was just like, ooh, I don't like, I mean, like, it's very cool and very emotional, but I was like, yeah, that's my, you know how people have irrational fear? Like, I remember listening to Greg Miller, his like number one fear is ticks or whatever. He was like, shut the fuck up, you idiot. Yeah, for me, top 5 has got to be getting dementia because I just don't want to not know anything, but not know that I don't know anything. Like, that sounds awful to me.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. But yeah, no, very cool game so far. Next I played, what is FG? Fall Guys. That's right.
Oh, nice, because it's free now. Free to play on all
Fall
platforms.
Guys is free to play. Yeah, on everything, cross-play, all that good stuff. Quick tip. If you ever had it initially on PlayStation or Steam, and you plan to play it anywhere else, log on it on the first thing that you ever played it on and connect your Epic account. Because if you don't...
First platform, right? Because if I played it on my
first platform you ever
PS4,
did.
but I don't have that
Yeah,
anymore.
that's fine.
Okay,
As your first platform. You still might have an issue because the first thing that you log into it makes it your primary thing. So I lost all of my progress because it was all... So I started on Xbox, attached my Epic account, turn on the PlayStation, attach my Epic account. It's like, sorry, all your progress is gone. It's fine. You can talk to customer service. They fix it in about a day. So today I loaded up and it's like, here's your 40 costumes and colors. And then just like 18 achievement popped because I'd, done all that stuff already on PlayStation that came over to Xbox. It's like, thank God. But when I first got on there, it's like, you have nothing. I was like, fuck you. I want my stuff, please. So everything was taken care of. You just had to talk to customer support. It was upsetting, though. But Fall Guys is a great game. I'm going to play it after we get off with my son. He downloaded it. We're going to have a good time running around little beans. We got a win. We were playing with the people in Pixel Street Discord. We played a team of 4, and we had a win. I think it's the first one I've ever had.
Heck yeah. I don't think I've ever gotten
awesome.
a crown. I think I've
No,
ever
it's
crowned
hard.
in that game.
Yeah, it was always like, oh, your team is second place. Fuck it. I'm not kidding. Like probably 20 times we got second place.
Yeah.
I was like, but we won. So it was a great time. TMNT, finished that game up, played that co-op with my son. Game's great. It's awesome. I love it. So I remember last week you were talking about it. I made fun of you because you didn't know the name of the characters.
Yeah.
That it's a 2-person battle. So the bull, he's a bull. He's like a cybernetic bull.
Yeah.
And his name is Ground Chuck. You're right.
Yeah, that's right. I'm right.
But I think you thought that the bull was not. I thought the dude who buries. I thought you thought was Ground Chuck because
that is
ground.
correct. That is who I thought was
But
Ground
no,
Chuck. So
Ground Chuck is the bull, and I think you said beefsteak. That's the name of the
that
bull.
sounds like what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So Ground Chuck is the bull, and Dirtbag is the guy who mines, and he's a mouse.
Oh, okay.
I just had to look those up because I'm like, oh, because I saw Ground Chuck. I'm like, well, that's what Chad was talking about. There's no beefsteak here. So yeah, no, that game's great. Played through it. Donatello's super good. Awesome. Awesome time. And then this one was fun. So I remember we had talked about this story a couple weeks ago. I'm like, hey, this game's finally coming out that no one's talked about for 3 years, and who gives a shit, right? My son plays Roller Champions, which was the Ubisoft free-to-play roller derby game. And him and like a group of 5 of his friends play that game. And I'm like, how'd you find out about it? First of all, I didn't tell you. And there are people who play it. So I just think free-to-play, honestly, we'll get to more stories later. Honestly, I think free-to-play is, so as people for us, we're like, oh, we'll play our first-party Sony games. And honestly, I think free-to-play is like literally what gets all the kids. So as kids become adults and are into gaming, free-to-play is going to be the thing. Yeah. Like he literally only plays free-to-play games or games that are on Game Pass that I let him download. But he plays fucking Roller Champions. All he's played today is Roller Champions and Roblox. That's all he's played today.
That's the life, man.
Insane.
That's the life. And Roblox can literally be anything.
Yeah. Roblox is just hang out with your friends. It's not even a game. It's just like, let's just go dick around and hang out together. Yeah. So I didn't play Roller Champions, but my son does. So there's the one person in the world who does it.
There's the one person and his 5 friends.
Yeah.
Update on Game of Thrones. Premiered April 17th, 2011. Finale was on May 19th, 2019, making that 8 years and 1 month and 2 days, which was my initial.
For how long it ran.
Yeah, for how long it ran, which is my initial.
But we were talking about when it premiered, which is about 12 years ago.
And it was 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I got your back, Smitty. Won't let this man backtalk you. But that's it. Unless we have anything else. I don't remember watching anything. I mean, literally more Burn Notice because God, so good. I'm Michael Weston. I'm here to be a spy. Anyways, yeah, that's it for me.
Ms. Marvel. Watching Ms. Marvel. Everyone watch it. It's fantastic.
It's literally my favorite Marvel show that they've done.
It's so good. I love how the world becomes part of, like she's walking down the street and she's texting on her phone, but instead of seeing what she's texting, you just like the neon sign changes to like the words, or you see the reflection of something in the water, and that's like his response to her, and it's just, that kind of stuff just makes me so freaking horny.
It's so good. I saw an interview where they're like, oh, we basically want to do what Spider-Verse did, but in live action. I'm like, you fucking nailed it. Because Spider-Verse is all about like thwack and like the words go in real life because it's a comic book.
Yep.
But they just did it in live action. It's very good. Then the Kenobi finale, actually, I enjoyed that last episode a lot.
Yeah. The last Kenobi episode was really great.
Very cool. All right. So we're going to go into the quest log, which means we're talking about more video game stories for the rest of the show, everybody.
Woo! Easy work.
We're going to start with FromSoftware is a very busy boy. It's from Darren Bunthwees at GameSpot. Elden Ring developer FromSoftware is already hiring for quote-unquote multiple new games. Ooh. As the company tweeted a link to a new recruitment site that includes listing for several positions. It is entirely in Japanese. So you can look at that tweet, but it's not in English, but they are hiring. In an interview with 4Gamer via VGC, FromSoftware's Miyazaki also mentioned that an unannounced project is in the final stages of development, that he intends to continue focusing on directing games. One such future project by the Elden Ring developer described as a more abstract fantasy that uses ideas that won't quite fit in the usual Souls-like adventure template.
Nice.
As for other, I don't know what that means, but interesting. As for other projects that FromSoftware is recruiting for, it's also been rumored that they're making Armored Core or is being revived. Elden Ring will continue to receive support, although Miyazaki mentioned that he wasn't ready to reveal what fans can expect to see next. But every Souls game gets DLC, so you're going to get a DLC. So, Elden Ring, multiple new games. One of them is almost done, apparently. Chad, what do you think about all this?
I am very excited that it's something that doesn't fit in the traditional Souls-like adventure template because Elden Ring, I like the gameplay, but I think it's just like that world that, you know, you're in old rundown broken castles and like these skeleton monsters and werewolves and like that. And just hitting things with big sword. I think I'm tired of that. I think I'm burnt out on that. Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Elden Ring. I want them to do
Demon
more.
Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls. I want them to start branching out into more things like Bloodborne and that like disgusting creature stuff. Or I like when they did Sekiro, and it's like, although I didn't finish and love Sekiro, like I appreciated the change. Or the Surge, the sci-fi game. It's by
Surge is
Deck
really
Nine instead of FromSoftware, but it was basically sci-fi Dark Souls in space and all these robots and shit, and that was really, really cool. So like I would love to see that same thing in a different environment with different aesthetics and themes. So that sounds great to me. Also, never played an Armored Core. Could probably not even tell you what the game is. It mechs? Maybe it's mechs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking it up right now, but cool.
Armored Core, yeah, it's Max Games.
Yes, mechs. Big mechs. They've got many missiles on their bodies.
Gatling guns, perhaps?
Rail guns, it looks like, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Gatling guns, for sure. Gatling guns. And some of them have swords.
Swords?
They've got
Swords on a robot?
On a robot. Yeah,
Very
and it looks like they do hit each other.
Yep. Damage to each other until the other one dies.
And there are helicopters. I don't know if those are different from the robots, but it looks like they're helicopters with 2 propellers.
Interesting. 2 propellers on the helicopter.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Miyazaki, we're very interested in what you do next. Gamescom is a little bit lighter in the pants area. It's from Billy Givens at IGN.com. In a statement to Jesus Christ, in a statement to German publication Games Witchcraft, Wirtskraft, Sony revealed that it wouldn't be attending Gamescom this year. Sony, not going to be there, while also confirming that there won't be any PlayStation-based announcements during Jeff Keighley's opening night live stream. This year, Gamescom marks its return to a partially physical show, but it seems that many of the gaming's biggest companies are choosing to pass up on the opportunity. Nintendo, Take-Two, and Activision Blizzard have already announced that they won't take part in the event. News of Sony skipping Gamescom is entirely unexpected, as PlayStation has been known to skip many major shows as they shifted to doing state of plays, showcasing its newer partnership and upcoming first party games on its own time. So, no Sony Gamescom. And then, Nintendo Take-Two, whatever. I think the interesting thing, them saying there will be nothing at opening night live for Jeff Keighley, even though they just had Last of Us for Summer Game Fest or not E3 or whatever. But yeah, how do you feel about this whole thing? Interesting.
I'm not a fan, man. I'm not a fan. I want more of a centralized thing that people all come together and say, this is the time where we're going to announce things. And to be honest, not E3 was a little underwhelming because we got nothing from Nintendo, zero.
Yeah, still haven't.
And there was maybe a couple of games that we saw throughout the other types of things that went on that are coming to Nintendo platforms, but we saw nothing from Nintendo. We saw the Sony State of Play, which was honestly one of the better State of Plays that's ever existed, but it was a week and a half before. But I want everyone to get along and do all the things at the same time so that I don't have to pay attention to 50 things. That's what I want.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, them not showing up to a physical thing doesn't bother me. If you're let's not send... If Nintendo's we're not going to send people to Germany, whatever, I don't care about that. But yeah, being Sony specifically, I know that they have state of plays, and a God of War absolutely would deserve its own state of play.
Yeah.
That's cool. But having something at Jeff Keighley's show would be cool. It's cool when you're oh shit, here's a big first party game. That's always nice to see. Compared to we'll just do it when we feel like it, which is it's fine, but I'm with you. I like to have it all at once.
And it also, it doesn't feel like a, you think about video games, especially as console gamers, I I think Xbox and what I play. I think PlayStation. Like you don't when you think of now opening night live and you think of Summer Games Fest, it's just like I want to see what's coming from these giant AAA publishers that make the consoles that I'm on, and they're gonna have like the best of the best games. And now it's like, oh, we don't get to see all of that. We get to see the other stuff, which is great. There are awesome, amazing indie games. There are AAA games coming from like Ubisoft, but it's just like I miss the big three. I miss seeing shit from the big three represented at these big events.
Yeah, being able to sit down and like, I'm going to take off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and just watch. You know, when E3 was a thing a long time ago, it was cool to be able to do that. You know, I understand times are different and live streaming and stuff, but I'm with you. That'd been cool. But again, I don't care about the physical event because I'm not going to, you know, hang out with Witchcraft. What's a croft? I'm not hanging out with those guys in Germany, but I would like to see stuff on the live stream. But we'll have to wait for when Sony wants to do it. And Nintendo. Yeah, that's still no direct, huh?
I read somewhere that there's a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Nintendo Direct coming soon.
They already did that.
Oh, they
did?
That
was last week.
Okay.
But no one cares because
zero people cared.
Yeah. So, speaking more of Sony, they had 2 stories this week. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
And the story was written by an old friend.
Oh.
Georg? A new game from Sucker Punch from, who is that? George Yang at IGN.com?
Jorge Yang.
I actually do have a friend whose name is Jorge, but he goes by George. I guess he's like, it's just easier in America instead of having people mispronounce it. But yeah, our boy George Yang at IGN.com wrote us a story about Sucker Punch. Those are the people who made Ghost of Tsushima, aren't they?
That's another good Halloween mashup. Boy George Yang.
Boy George Yang put together. Yep. I like it. Sucker Punch is looking to hire some new talent to work on what appears to be an open world game with action and stealth. Wonder what the fuck that could be.
Oh shit! Didn't we already get confirmation that Ghost of Tsushima 2 is coming?
I don't think so.
They
were like, it sold very well.
Yeah.
We like it a lot. We're going to do a movie, but I don't think we got anything about a sequel. First spotted by Tech for Gamers, the studio's career page features listings for a variety of roles, including technical combat and senior combat designers, as well as an encounter designer. What makes the combat designer listing stand out from the requirement, their senior combat listing is particularly asked, do you delight in knowing the details of attack or parrying, timing, and count frames? Which, of course, sounds like, yeah, we're doing sword combat. Parrying is all about that. Meanwhile, one of the listed responsibilities for the encounter designer is delivering interesting and varied encounters in an open world game with a particular focus on melee combat and stealth. Maybe it's Infamous.
Ooh,
maybe Infamous.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah. In addition, the roles asked that applicants have played previous Sucker Punch games, suggesting they may need to be familiar with the studio's games and understand the core mechanics. So it's like you need to have played our games before, which means it's probably a sequel, and you need to understand how sword combat works, and you need to understand how stealth works. I wonder what they're hiring for.
Xenoblade Chronicles 4.
Yes. Yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles 4 from Sucker Punch, exclusively on PlayStation. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's obviously Ghost of Tsushima 2. And they're like, hey, make sure you played Ghost 1. You don't need to play Infamous.
Hey, Chad.
But
real quick, you turned into a robot for me.
I turned into a robot? Back. Sorry, everyone. We had Comcast sucks. Yay. But
Comcast
it's okay.
Sucks ass.
The on-demand thing will be just fine. Will be great.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no. Looks like Ghost of Tsushima 2 makes sense. Game is very popular. That just makes me wonder. And Blue Point can do this, or anybody can do this. I'm not going to lie, I would be interested in another Infamous game, or maybe a remaster of the first 2.
Yeah.
Just saying.
They are, now that they are available on the PlayStation Plus, whatever the hell, essential, not essential, extra, PlayStation Plus extra to stream, like, I feel like they're going to get a renewed interest in them, and hopefully people will be like, hey, why don't we have this game anymore? And they're like, oh, yeah, you true. Let's redo that. I would love that.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I'd be into it. Speaking of other things that I'm very into, console games are about to get real sexy.
Ooh, yeah. Show me your boobies, Xbox.
Thrust Bucket Babies from Adam Bankhurst at IGN.com. By the way, so when people have like the musculature around like their hips.
Uh huh.
So
Yep.
they have like some people call it a thrust bucket.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've heard this joke before, but some people call them cum gutters, and that
See,
upsets me.
I've always heard cum gutters as like the defined abs. Like those are the gutter. Like you can't, like you
But
get.
it's on the side, like going down, like what some people call the thrust bucket. It's all that area, like your
Well,
pelvic area,
the
muscular.
the thrust bucket is like the lines that come up through your pubic mound, like, and then they kind of go off to the side. But
Yeah.
cum gutters are like the abs and like the washboard part of it, right? That's what I've always heard it in reference to.
People say gross things. I don't know. But Xbox games and maybe PlayStation games are going to get sexier. As AMD celebrates the first birthday of Fidelity FX Super Resolution, we're going to call that FSR for now. The tech company has announced that FSR 2.0 is now available for Series X and Xbox One developers. Ooh. AMD shared the news on a blog confirming that FSR 2.0 is also supported on Xbox. It will be available in the Xbox GDK for registered developers to use in all their games. This marks the first time the tech is being utilized outside of the world of PCs. So, I just said a bunch of tech words. For anyone who does not know, for those unfamiliar, FSR 2.0 is AMD's answer to NVIDIA's Deep Learning Super Sampling DLSS, and is the next level AMD temporal upscaling technology designed to deliver similar or better than native image quality and boost frame rate in supported games across a wide variety of products and platforms. So, as a dude who plays PC and has a NVIDIA card, DLSS is basically, what does your computer do? How about we just boost it? I don't know how it works. It's fucking witchcraft. It's witchcraft or whatever it is. It basically, the card uses AI super sampling fucking magic and is like, oh, your rig could only do this. This card will now make your game run, make it look like it's better. So you can literally turn it on. And it's like, oh yeah, this literally looks better than my machine is capable of doing, or the frame rate is better than it should be able to do. Which again, it's awesome on PC. Every game that I have is great. Like I literally was able to run Control in 1440p, 120 frames a second with ray tracing on, and I just clicked on DLSS and it did it for me. It was great. So this coming to consoles, which with an AMD, which is the chips that consoles use, is really cool because again, you're going to be able to play games. Basically, just they'll look better and they'll have higher frame rates just because of the chip that's inside. Now, this is only talking about Xbox, but correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I believe PlayStation also has an AMD card in it. Correct?
Correct.
Do you have any idea? Okay, so
Yeah.
it should be coming to everybody.
My understanding of the way that this works, or at least Nvidia's is, and I think AMD's works very similar, is it takes like a low resolution image, and let's say, for instance, it's a tree. Like it's a low resolution image of a tree. It's not 4K because a 4K version would be super huge in file size, and it takes like a little tiny tree, and it's like, oh, my machine learning algorithms know what a real actual 4K tree looks like. And you have a little tiny tree, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and use math to make that a really big 4K beautiful tree. Even though you didn't supply all of that, I know what all the details of a tree look like. So we'll just make that happen. Instead of having to have the full resolution, high res assets being loaded in and having to be handled by the RAM and your storage and all that kind of stuff, your GPU is just able to say, yeah, I know what all that stuff's supposed to look like at really sharp resolution. I'll do that for you. That's my understanding of how it works. Yeah, it's all witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Yeah. No, it's very, like I said, it works great on PC. I'm not that technical, but I kind of get what's going on. You've kind of explained it as well. It's just going to make your shit look better.
Yep.
And your console won't be working as hard, which means it can work harder in other areas. If it's not worrying about 4K grass, AMD takes care of 4K grass and then you do something else. But it's great. It's really mind-boggling when you see a side-by-side comparison of DLSS on and off. You're like, ooh. That's nice. So very cool. And again, developers have it now. So, a couple years, maybe next year, maybe a year after that, a lot of this stuff will just be included. So very cool.
And it's so cool that this stuff is like, we're at a point now in the industry where this is all available through a firmware update. And like your Xbox is capable of doing, as soon as developers integrate it, it will be capable of doing it without having to buy a new model or anything like that. Whereas, back in the 360 days, it's like, cool, you've got what you got. It's not even on the x86 architecture. So, like, since they'd mentioned, like, this is stuff that was on PCs, it's like, good luck ever seeing that on console back then. Now it's like, oh, yeah, we'll develop one thing one place and use it everywhere else. So that's really cool that we're at that level.
Not gonna lie, the day that both those companies were like, "Can we just make PCs, but just put it in a box that looks like an Xbox or a PlayStation?" was the
Yeah.
best decision they've ever made in their lives. Oh my
Yep.
god, it's so good. Next up, punch monsters in their turkey necks.
This is the best headline of the whole thing.
Oh man, it's really good. That's from Ryan Leston at IGN.com. That is a very specific reference for those of Kevin Smith fans. They'll know that. Punch monsters in their turkey necks. During an in-depth look at the game's combat over at Game Informer, designer-director Ben Walker revealed that almost half of Callisto Protocol's combat will be melee-focused. We're definitely leaning into the survival side of things, he revealed. Our overall tone of our combat is kind of a struggle, right? You're doing whatever you can to kind of get by and get through. Essentially, it looks as though ammo will be scarce, but don't worry, there's plenty of other attacks at your disposal. Almost half of our combat is melee, he added. That means you have to be smart about how you use your bullets. So to that end, we've added our melee combos. When they finish, they kind of push the enemy away. So that gives you a chance to then lock on really quickly and get a nice clean shot on an enemy. More information about a game that Chad's very excited for, so I want to put it in here.
Yeah.
I like how they're doing the scarce ammo and stuff. Kind of sounds, like Resident Evil survival horror stuff, and then you can just punch the shit out of monsters, punch them in their necks, turkey necks.
Yeah, this is a good. Last time we talked about this game, I said this 100% is just a ripoff of Dead Space, and it is Dead Space 4 in all the best ways. So this is a really interesting departure from that. So because melee, you never wanted to get close to these things in Dead Space, or else basically they just eat your head off. Yeah. So for Callisto Protocol, it's really cool to see that, like, if half of the combat is melee focused, that's a completely different way of playing the game than we had before, where you stay back as much as possible and you shoot ripper blades or the line gun or all that kind of stuff to like
flip the beam back and forth
to flick the beam back and forth. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what
left and right, up and down.
So that
I remember
Dead
Space.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it just being like, was it stomp was like the only really thing you could do?
Yeah, if someone was getting close to you and like crawling on the ground, you could stomp them. Or if they attacked you, you could like mash a button and shake them off. But there was a really slow like swing your arm melee attack, but that was almost useless.
That keeps it a little different. And Chad continues to be excited about punching people in their turkey necks.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Go. A big fall game gets a release date. Who is this? Hold on. Whose music? My God. Whose music is that? It's George Yang from GameSpot. So Focus Entertainment has revealed that A Plague Tale Requiem will launch on October 18th for PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S. PC, PS5, Series X and S, and Switch.
Yeah, that right now is just like, wait, PS4? Xbox One?
That's what I'm thinking.
Why Nintendo Switch and not the other ones?
I wonder if it's the stream version that's going to be trash. In an extended gameplay trailer, Focus Entertainment showed off more of the game. It looks even more cinematic than its predecessor. Shows the protagonist, Amicia, and her little brother, Hugo, trying to escape enemies while she fights them off. I believe this trailer is about like 10 minutes or something. If you have not played the first game, fast forward 30 seconds, because I'm about to spoil something in the game, the first one. Again, just 30 seconds, you'll get past it. With Hugo now being able to control his powers, he helps Amicia out by revealing enemy locations, which is the game's X-ray vision mechanic. Amicia now has more lethal ways of disposing of enemies, including a dagger and crossbow. Hugo can also unleash a torrent of rats as well, completely swallowing up enemies and devouring them. The extended trailer ends up with a scene of Hugo passing out from exhaustion and losing control of the rats. The wave of rats gets bigger and heads in the direction of Hugo and Amicia. So, again, that nice, very good trailer. We're back from spoilers. I think it's like almost a 10-minute trailer. Game looks really cool. And we have a release date for one of the, probably one of the bigger, next-gen games, besides Switch, apparently, of the year.
This doesn't necessarily... I'm cautious about this news. The fact that, Amicia has more deadly attack stuff. Because part of what I loved about the first game was just how real the death and the war and all of that felt. Especially there's this one scene like where you're walking through a battlefield and you have to walk slowly over like piles of dead bodies, and it's just like that's the first time that's ever meant anything to me in a game, and I'm not just like running over a bunch of dead soldiers on my way to go shoot something else and not caring about it. So like death meant something in that game in a way that I haven't really experienced in video games, and hopefully it doesn't. I'm sure it's not going to go all the way to the other end of the spectrum like Uncharted, where I'm just a guy, Indiana Jones style, just killing everybody in sight and not thinking about it whatsoever. So I hope it doesn't swing that far, but I'm a little cautious now.
Yeah, I'm excited. Looks pretty. Yeah, I'm with you. The first game is very, until the very end, it's very like, oh man, slow stealth. You know, things are very dangerous. Then the end, they're fucking bonkers for some reason. All of a sudden, try to make it a combat game. But again, with more time, I think that maybe they'll figure it out. I hope you don't kill 500 soldiers in this game. So maybe it's like you have your abilities to defend yourself, but maybe if you take on like 2 or 3 dudes, like they'll still fuck you up. If you take on multiple people at once, we'll see. Excited, and we have a date, October 18th.
Yes, we do.
We're getting excited. All right. So this one, look, the only reason I put this one in, I don't know, the game, maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't. The way that they did the trailer, the night before they dropped a soundbite, and we're like, hey, big news tomorrow. And the soundbite was literally just a screeching, cackling dog. And I'm like, what the fuck is this game? And now we know what it is. Interesting way to market your video game, but maybe the game will be interesting. So new game from Alien Isolation devs is quite different. It's from Grace Bedfall at GameSpot. Creative Assembly, the strategy game giant and creator of Total War, as well as the developers of Alien Isolation, and publisher Sega have announced a new game, Hyenas. Remember I talked about those weird dog noises?
Uh-huh.
They literally had a 5-second clip of a hyena like cackling, and we're like, Sega's like, tune in tomorrow. I'm like, Sega, what the fuck does that mean? And it doesn't have anything, whatever. Hyenas is a team-based shooter tasking players with robbing high-tech vaults on massive space freighters and then escaping the scene of the crime. And concept, Hyenas is a battle royale adjacent, drawing from Apex Legends and Hunt Showdown. Each match has 15 players split into 3 teams of 5. Players also contend with NPC enemies and security system. Since it takes place in space, there's some zero gravity. The goal is to pick up as much loot as possible, but rather than money or precious metals, the loot is made up of pop culture artifacts. A Sonic figurine, a Rubik's Cube, and various New York City memorabilia all appear in a Hyena's debut trailer. Abilities shown include a grappling hook, goop deploying weapon, deployable turrets, a flashbang, a jetpack, and more. You can sign up for upcoming Hyenas Alpha on the game's website. So again, weird marketing, a laughing dog, sound wave file is cool, but I kind of like the idea of like, hey, 3 teams of 5 are trying to rob space people, and I like Alien Isolation. That's a good developer, so I guess we'll see. But a new game from Sega got announced, so there you go.
Yeah, I did not watch this trailer, but I'm looking at screenshots right now. It reminds me of that Ubisoft, at least aesthetically, it reminds me of that Ubisoft Battle Royale game that just completely never took off.
Oh, Hyperscape?
Hyperscape. Yeah. I have no idea if it actually plays that way, but I don't know. If this goes free to play.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping because they're doing alpha. It's like, hope that's free to play because Sega not paying for it. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
My son will absolutely play it if it's free to play.
If you just Google Hyenas game, you see that. You see Hyena Simulator on Google Play, and then just a bunch of pictures of hyenas.
Hyena Simulator?
Yeah.
I get down with that. That's very fun.
There are also pictures of dead hyenas.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
No.
That's spooky. This one.
Spooky.
Dead animals is spooky, Chad. Come on.
I don't know if that's not spooky as much as it's just like,
what if they
gross.
pop up? Anytime I see a dead animal, I'm like, what if that motherfucker pops up right now? And that's spooky. I've seen enough horror movies. They would pop up.
You're right. What you could apply that same logic to just about anything. What if looking behind me right this piano bench? What if it just pops up?
That's fucked
piano
up.
bench is spooky.
Here's the thing: piano benches don't have teeth. I'm not scared of the piano bench. I'm scared of the apparition that's holding the piano bench.
Have you ever lifted up the lid? Have you ever lifted up the lid of a hyena bench?
Of a piano bench? Yes, I have.
Lift up the lid of a piano bench. Go looking for some sheet music in there, and it falls on your hand.
Uh huh.
That's.
Do you think that's worth?
That's ouch.
Is that worse than the jaws of a 180-pound dog called a hyena?
It depends on how old the dog is and whether it still has its teeth.
Can't teach an old dog new teeth. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's all spooky, Chad. We don't fuck with spooky stuff.
Okay.
I also don't fuck with this company either.
Yeah, this is not looking good for you.
Is in trouble again. Well, remember they got some help.
That's right.
So someone else took over. I'll be fine. But this is Aspireport is in trouble again from Luke Riley at IGN.com. KOTOR 2, The Sith Lords on Nintendo Switch is suffering from a game-breaking bug that's preventing players from being able to progress and finish the story. Aspire conceded on Twitter earlier today that is aware that it's currently no way to finish the game, but apologized for the inconvenience and noted its team was working on delivering the patch as soon as possible. In a statement to IGN, Aspire revealed that it is working on a fix to the problem, though the developer says it's only impacting a small number of players. As a quote from Aspire now, we're aware of an issue that is preventing some KOTOR 2 players from advancing in the game. Our data suggests this is only affecting a small number of users, but please rest assured that we're working on a patch to fix it. There's a current workaround requiring you to open up the cheat menu, click it 3 times, put in a code, and then warp to a different area, aka fucking dumb bullshit. Why am I doing a cheat code to get over your broken game bug? That's all there's a story. They'll fix it soon, I guess. Aspire, everybody.
Gives you a lot of faith, huh? For that upcoming
glad.
KOTOR remake.
I'm so glad that was it Deep Silver? They brought in somebody else. So like, we're going to take over. I'm like, fucking thank God. But again, KOTOR 2, awesome game. Great. I just wish that your ports were better. But that's all the stories for the day, Chad. Look at that.
Ooh, nice. You know what that brings us to, though? Segment from Adam. Segment from Adam. Segment from Adam. That's a harp at the end. I was playing the harp.
Oh, it's a harp. Yeah. You're playing that really fast. Ding,
yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Very cool. So, end of the month. So we're going to do our best end of the month video games that are going to possibly be game of the year for next year at the end of the year, baby. All right. So these are the best games for June, according to Metacritic. Strangely enough, KOTOR 2 remake for Switch is not on the list.
What? No, protest. Let's protest.
It's actually sitting at a 79, so it's right underneath my list. This month is surprisingly very good. If we do like an indie game category, I think there's some winners in here. So number 1 at an 89 on Metacritic is Neon White.
Okay.
Which is on Switch and PC. It's from the guy, Ben Esposito, the guy who made Donut County, and everyone's really into it. I'm really interested to check that out.
I've seen some good buzz on Twitter about it.
Absolutely. Next up, number 2, TMNT Shredder's Revenge at an 88.
Nice.
That's right. Party, dude. That's what Michelangelo says when he talks. It's awesome. So this one I'm not going to make fun of, but AI, the Somnoma Files, Nirvana Initiative at an 88. You're like, what the fuck did you just say, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So this is from a company who made Danganronpa, and they also made, is it Nonary Games, I think? So it's a company that makes a lot of visual novels that people are very into, and this is the new one. I have a friend, Jacob McCourt, who's been on the show before. He did the Far Cry 6 review. He's very much into these games, and I think this is a new in the Nonary Games. It's crazy head explodey visual novel where crazy stuff happens. But again, 88, people love it. I'm not going to play it, but people are excited. Maybe I'll play it.
Not for me.
Yeah. Next up, number 4, The Quarry.
The Quarry.
At 82. The Quarry. At 82.
What is the Tracy Jordan quote from 30 Rock about?
Who's Tracy Jordan?
Tracy Jordan from 30 Rock.
You mean Tracy Morgan from 30 Rock?
Tracy Morgan's character is Tracy Jordan.
Oh, I thought it was Tracy Morgan was playing himself on the show, so I assumed his character's name was also Tracy Morgan.
No. He has a quote about his kids at the quarry. Kids at the quarry. And every time I hear the name or the words "the quarry," I go, I say it in his voice, "The Quarry."
That's a very good impression of Tracy Morgan.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, I've actually never watched 30 Rock, so I couldn't help you there.
Don't throw a party for vengeance. It will turn on you like your wife after your kid has fallen into the quarry.
What is that quote about?
Here's the setup for it. Look, Liz Lemon, I know your feelings are hurt, but parties are like frisbees. If you throw them the wrong way, they'll veer off in a bad direction, and then your kid will fall into a quarry. But the way he says it, it's like, and then your kid will fall into a quarry. And oh, it's so good. Everyone go look that up.
I did look at that clip. Yeah. You could have fallen into a quarry. Holy shit. All right, Tracy Morgan.
Jordan Morgan.
Yeah. Number 5 is Card Shark at an 81. So I believe Switch and PC, which is a game in like Victorian London or whatever, but you don't play cards. You learn how to cheat at cards. Everyone says it's really cool and really good. So,
Does it
and then
teach you
number
to cheat at
6
cards like so that you can go to Vegas and win?
Well, no, I think in the game it's like, hey, cheat at cards so you can beat these aristocrats at cards.
Gotcha.
Something like that. And the number 6, Fire Emblem Three Hopes, is in the 80, which is the Muso style Fire Emblem game that just came out.
Got it.
Where you cut through a bunch of people. And that was it.
There is a Card Sharks official board game of It's Card Sharks, the official board game of Card Sharks.
Okay.
And it has a picture of Joel McHale on the cover of it.
Oh, why not? You know what I love? So somebody is making a Cyberpunk 2077 board game.
Okay.
Based on the video game. And the video game is based on a tabletop RPG. So there's a board game based on a video game based on a tabletop RPG.
Probably based on a novel pushed by Sapphire.
Yeah. So fucking 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Let's go.
Yes.
No, wait. Or is that John Mulaney? John Malkovich.
Being John Malkovich. You are John Malkovich when you watch that movie. And then there are 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon away from you.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. My Black Sun. All right. That's it for... That's it for the best games of the month. That's my segment.
I love it. I'm definitely going to play The Quarry when multiplayer comes out.
Oh,
TMNT
absolutely.
is already a hit. It was very fun. Be fun. And Neon White. I'm intrigued by Neon White, but I'm not going to... It's only on Switch and PC, and I'm not going to buy it on Switch. So when it comes to Game Pass eventually, I'll check it out.
Go check it out there. Yep, for sure.
It's time for Game on Game Show. The Game on our Game Show. The game. I messed it up. Not going back. Only forward.
Okay.
Here we go. Our game this week is one we played last week. It is the return of Smush Me Into a Movie, Daddy.
I don't like any of that.
That's the official. How do I spell that? Because I'm gonna put that on the end now officially.
Probably a bunch of M's and H's.
No, that's I'm gonna put
H's first and then M's.
EH.
Yeah.
And some L's. And Y's. Hell yeah. Smush me in a movie, Daddy. Hell yeah. That's what we're playing again this week. I've got 3 games here. And again, the setup is that we have no more money. No more money, but we know we need to make video game movies. So we're taking existing scripts, existing movies, and we are just simply going to CGI in video game elements to transform it into a video game movie. So,
Okay.
we have 3 games here that need to become movies. We have to figure out what we're transforming. First one is Job Simulator. What movies? And again, we use same script, same actors. We just CGI some new stuff in.
There's got to be a movie, like a silly, funny time comedy movie starring Tracy Morgan where he just like does a bunch of odd jobs, right? There's got to be. Initially, Office Space, because it's a movie about working in an office and it's very funny. But is there something else where somebody's constantly doing new things?
Trying out new jobs. New jobs movie.
I'm sure something great will come up.
Not game. Movie with lots of jobs.
If we can't find anything, Office Space is perfect because it's also made by the creator of King of the Hill, Mike Judge.
That is correct. That is correct.
So that's already perfect, basically. Job Simulator, you're in one spot, right? Yeah, that's the whole point.
You're in one VR. All the machines have taken over, and they are like, hey, this is our best approximation of how humans used to do work.
That's perfect because he beats up the fax machine. So that could be like him killing one of the robots.
The robot overlords. You're right. You're exactly right. Okay. I'll take it. Next up this is a game that I have not played before, but I have seen several times on Wario64 tweets and on sales on Steam's. On sales on Steam's. Genital Jousting. Are you familiar with the game Genital Jousting?
I've heard of it. So how is it different from Mount My Friends? Because I know what Mount My Friends is. I do not know what Genital Jousting is.
I don't know what Mount My Friends is, but Genital Jousting, from the screenshots that often accompany the tweets from Wario64, it looks like like little wiener gummies, like slither around the screen, and like fight each other somehow, maybe.
Okay. I get down with that.
So how do we? What movie do we plug in genital jousting into?
So, again, with our very limited knowledge of the video game,
Yes.
my only thing the first thing that comes to my mind is A Knight's Tale, because it's about knights who do the jousting
Sir
thing.
Ulrich von Liechtenstein.
Yeah, but just replace everybody. Since our CG budget isn't great, just make them all one solid color, so they'll be the gummy people. I'm assuming it's gummy people. I have no idea. I haven't looked at the screenshots, but it's just like, just like, oh, I'm the dude in the armor, and he's entirely green because he's a green gummy. But again, I also don't know what the video game looks like, so I'm gonna Google genital jousting very carefully.
Google genital jousting. It is. Yeah, it's. They're dressed up like people.
Not genital herpes. Don't want that.
No. But it's just peens and balls, and they're dressed up in dresses and business suits and ties.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. And
yeah.
they fight each other in different arenas.
And
these are very graphic penises, by the way.
They are. Like some of them are uncircumcised. You can see.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreskin in this.
Yeah. How
about this Fight Club? Just make everyone a penis. Because it's all about people, fighting underground. There we go. Penis.
Here's we don't have a lot of budget for this. If we make everyone a penis, that's a lot of CGI. What if we just make everyone have their dick out while they fight?
Oh.
Or
Northman,
penis fingers.
CG penis. Can you imagine making a fist with penis fingers? Just curling them up and they're like popping out the bottom of your hands?
Uh-huh. Fight Club with penis fingers.
Penis fingers works perfect.
Perfect. Okay, great. Last one is Wii Sports. How do we make Wii Sports into, or how do we take a movie and just turn it into Wii Sports?
Let's see. Old people sports movie. I'm Googling that. Just to see if there is one.
Like I wanted to how do we do Hunger Games? Is there a movie where you have to play sports and your team gets eliminated and you die? Because Hunger Games is kind of it's just like a battle royale. It's just one big game.
Kind of, yeah.
But
so I have two things here. There's a movie called Herbst Gold, which I have no idea what it is. This film follows 5 senior citizen athletes along their biggest challenge. All of them are between 80 and 100 years old and is a race against time and personal degradation. No idea what this movie is about, but it's literally about 80 to 100-year-old people having to play sports. That or the Will Ferrell basketball movie.
Oh, shit. Semi-pro?
Semi-pro.
I like the idea of these, and I'm looking at the poster for Herbst Gold. I like the idea of just forcing old people to do.
I mean, everyone really should Google the poster for Herbst Gold because it is very old people.
So
and they're doing
gross.
multiple sports.
Yeah,
looks like they're doing
shot
track
put.
And stuff.
This one girl's looking at her wrist.
So think about this. We have this exact same movie, right? And I would say bring back the actors, but I'm sure they're all dead. But you do this, and then a scene at the end of the movie is just them in a home playing a Wii, and 10 years after the Wii was dead.
Yeah.
But it's just old people playing Wii Sports because they have nothing else to do. And they're in a home and they're imagining, oh man, such a good athlete, actually I'm just sitting in a home playing Wii Sports. But it's just this exact same movie with this old woman doing a shot put, but at the end she's just playing Wii tennis.
This guy on the right, I'm pretty sure was the inspiration for the Vulture in Spider-Man, the original comic. Look at his
This
fucking...
man his nostrils are huge. He has a hook nose and just skin and then a white hair on the back. It is... and
his overbite, too.
It's he looks like if Willem Dafoe was 120 years old.
Oh, my God.
I like this.
What sport do you think this Married with Children guy is playing in the background? The guy who looks like a knockoff Bundy.
The guy just holding his hands up?
Yeah, the guy in the track jacket holding his hands up. This is really great audio content. Really great video content, too. We're not even showing it on the screen, but...
Yeah. Just look up Herbst Gold. It came out in 2010. I have no idea. Hey, maybe he's the coach.
You're true.
And then we cut over to him in the old folks' home. He's the fifth person waiting for the controller. He's like, "Oh, it's my turn soon. Can't wait." and he has the same tracksuit on.
And we give him a dead Wiimote and he thinks he's playing.
He thinks he's playing. He doesn't know the difference. Remember when I said that my number 5 fear was getting old and getting dementia? That I don't want to be in this movie.
If I ever start to look like I'm going to become one of these people, kill me.
Take me out.
Woo! Gross. All right, that's it for Game On Game Show, and that is it for this week's episode of Respawn Aim Fire, episode 264. Thank you for listening. You have homework, and actually you've done a piece of homework. If you are a patron over at patreon.com/respawnaimfire, you have voted on our next BARF game, which is our Backlog Accomplishments with Respawn and Friends game. It's kind of like a game club. We pick a game every single month that we all play. We talk about it at the end of the month. For June, we played Life is Strange True Colors. We'll be, again, talking about that later this week with a special guest. But our poll went up for July's game, and you all voted, and Adam is about to surprise me right now with whatever the result of that poll is.
So, all the great people over on patreon.com/respawnaimfire voted for a game. So, I had 4 games, and I was like, hey, July, 4th of July, we'll celebrate America. This was before Supreme Court made a fucking fool of America, but that's fine. And I put up 4 games that are somewhat patriotic / AKA you play the president or it's about America. And the winner was, drum roll please, the Quarry. Metal Wolf Chaos is the winner. Metal Wolf Chaos is a third-person shooter video game developed and published by FromSoftware.
Ooh.
It was released for the original Xbox in 2004. It was originally exclusive Xbox Japanese-only release in 2004. The player plays the President of the United States piloting a mech to battle the rebelling military force led by the Vice President. So you're the president in a mech fighting the Vice President of the United States. It has also got re-released on Xbox One and PS4. It's like $15. It's called Metal Wolf Chaos XD or something like that. So we were able to play it modernly. So we're going to play this Japanese-made game about being the President of the United States made by FromSoftware.
Dope.
Can't get more America than that.
Nope. America. President fighting Vice President. Love it.
It's great.
All right. So that is what we are playing for the month of July. Again, you don't have to be a patron to play the game because you are an adult who can make your own choices, or you're a child who can ask your mom for money to buy Metal Wolf Chaos XD and play as the president in a mech fighting the vice president and his army. So do that, and then if you would like to tweet us your thoughts or email us your thoughts, respawningfire@gmail.com, or be on the show, be a special guest, talk about the game if you played it that month as well. Do it! Do it! Shia LaBeouf, just do it! That's it. And so thank you for listening, everyone, to our podcast. Until next time, here's our usual sign-off. My black son! My black son! I don't remember
sleeping with that lady.
But
My
I did.
black son. But I did.